Hi, this video is about heavy metal testing. Now we're going to go through the different methods and I'm going to go through a report with you of a hair test. This is commonly one that I would use and it's a great way to see exposure over a period of time. So what are the ways to test for heavy metals? Well, of course there's blood tests. This is best for acute exposure. Maybe you're working in a mine site or a plant and you've been exposed, or you've dropped a mercury thermometer and you want to see it in the blood at the present time. There's also urine test. This is excretion at a present time, and we can chelate with chelating substances and stir it up and then bring it out in the urine too as a challenge test. But let's jump over to the report for the hair test. A chart of a typical hair analysis. Now there are a lot of labs around the world and the majority are using the method in a lab. It's typically atomic mass spectrometry, and they're digesting the hair with acid and then they're using the machines to just simply report the data. So if there is heavy metals or a mineral, it will come up in the sample. It's just pure science testing what is in that mass of digested hair. Now this particular one is done naturopath, but as I said, there are doctors' data, Mediscan, Interclinical. There are a lot around the world. So let's jump into this one. So a typical report will look something like this. We've got some of them have got lower ranges, upper ranges for general beneficial minerals, and then they should have a section for heavy metals, and this obviously is the upper level, so we want that as low as possible. Now this one, we'll just start at the top. There's some chromium, cobalt, copper, iodine, iron, manganese, etc. So we scan down, just looking at the color coding. We've got low red, high red. We don't want it too low, we don't want it too high, and you can see there's a couple of lows there. Now it's very important to note this is not a direct correlation of what is beneficial for our health. Now you may think, well, what's the purpose of doing the test? Well, it's more of a monitoring over time. We want to look at environmental exposure or lifestyle exposure of heavy metals in the environment, and we want to just monitor it over time. Doing another test in 3 to 6 months time is good, is what I normally tell my patients, and then we're reviewing them and we're putting them alongside each other to compare. Now if there is some lows, they're all corresponding to each other and they're competing and they're antagonistic and synergistic. So it's not just this is low, this is high. It's not as simple as that. And by nudging them, you will nudge other ones out too. So it's better to be holistic in your approach and carefully, and then monitor it with time. So I'll just scroll down a little bit more. There's some strontium. Then we're coming into a toxic mineral level here panel. Now this particular one is not great with the coding. Other labs are using more direct visual representation, but they're all similar. If you look at the highs and the lows, now color coded red, there are 3 reds: cadmium, lead, mercury. That's a bit of a concern. It's nothing to panic about. A lot of patients come to me really panic because they've got some toxicity. In this day and age, in this world, there is a ton of toxicity and we're all getting exposed to it, whether it's mercury amalgams or fish or environmental exposure or simply in the food supply. But we obviously don't want any. So how are we going to chelate that? How are we going to get rid of it? It's a combination of these beneficial minerals and the toxicity. I'll just scroll down. This lab has some ratios. Now ideally we want the healthy range ratio. We don't want too much zinc, we don't want low chromium, we want equal amounts. Zinc, copper is another one I've discussed in other videos, but we want it in healthy relationship. Now this particular report does talk about some specifics more on that highs and lows. It's not really that helpful. Now most of the labs are trying to be helpful, but I wish it was that simple. It's not. I'll just repeat again, it's not as simple as putting in the lows and getting rid of the highs. Now there's a whole nother video about the chelation and all of that component, but just this video is purely how to read the lab report for the hair sample And my take-home message is repeat it and get some data over time, because hair test really is only for a assessment over time. Now, I hope this has been helpful. There are other videos on functional testing, and jump over there and get watching and watch some of those and build up your knowledge to get yourself healthier. Okay, thank you.